Dear my Dhamma friends, today we are going to discuss another sutra called Loka Sutra. Actually, there are more than 8 sutras by this name in all Nikayas in Tripitaka. The particular Loka Sutra I am going to explain today can be found in Sanyutta Nikaya and Kosala Sanyutta. The sutra name Loka, which is a Pali word and has 2 meanings. The very first meaning, according to the Pali dictionary, Loka means the world where the human beings are living. The second one is human body, the second meaning. Or we can deeply say that collections of 5 aggregates. In most of the sutra, Buddha talk about Loka as a collections of 5 aggregates. Therefore, this body and mind created by basic 3 unwholesome thoughts, which are lobha, desire, dvesha, anger, moha, delusion or ignorance. In this sutra, the word used lokasa means all human beings, not only human beings, but even animals and nature. Right? So, hope you get an idea about the name of the sutra now. So, now let's move on to the sutra. And this sutra also preached to the king Kosala, Pasenadi Kosala at Savatthi, and starts in this way, evam me sutang, so on. Ekamantan nisinnoko raja Pasenadi Kosalo bhagavantan etada vocha. Katinuko bhante lokassa dhamma uppajjamana uppajjanti ahitaya dukkaya apahasu viharayati. At Savatthi, as King Kosala was sitting to one side, King Pasenadi Kosala said to the Blessed One, or to the Buddha, how many qualities or thoughts of the world that when arising, arise for harm, arise for suffering, and arise for stress and discomfort. Then Lord Buddha replied to the King Kosala, Tayoko Maharaja Lokassa Dhamma Uppajjamana Uppajjanti Ahitaya Dukkaya Apahasu Viharaya. Katame Tayo. Dear King, there are 3 souls in this world. When arising, arise for harm, stress and discomfort. What are those 3 sources? The first one, Loboko Maharaja Lokassa Dhammo Uppajjamano Uppajjanti Ahitaya Dukkaya Apahasu Viharaya. Dear King, desire, great King, is the first unwholesome source, which is when arising, arise for harm, arise for stress and discomfort. Then, Dosoko Maharaja Lokassa Dhamma Uppajjamana Uppajjanti Ahitaya Dukkaya Apahasu Viharaya. Second source is, great King, anger. Second source is anger, which is when arising, arises for harm, stress and discomfort. The third one, Mohoko Maharaja Lokassa Dhammo Uppajjamana Uppajjanti Ahitaya Dukkaya Apahasu Viharaya. The great King, third source is delusion, which is when arising, arises for harm, stress and discomfort. Imeko Maharaja Tayo Lokassa Dhamma Uppajjamana Uppajjanti Ahitaya Dukkaya Apahasu Viharaya. So these are the 3 sources of the world, great King, that when arising, arise for harm, arise for stress and discomfort. So Then, when we discuss about these three unwholesome sources, what Lord Buddha mentioned, nothing in this world could harm you as much as your unguarded or uncultured thoughts, isn't it? It's very clear. Our own desire or greed, then anger or the aversion or hatred, then the delusion or the ignorance. Here I use few similar words, but if you study more in depth, these words have some different meaning as well. Okay, now let's move on to the desire or the craving. In Pali we say lobha. Right? The desire refers to craving for sensual pleasure that can never be satisfied and can be simply described in three different ways. The very first one. The first one is desire to gain something that you don't have in your possession. Right? Secondly, the desire to maintain and manage the things you already gain or have. The final one is to pursue the pleasure of five sense of faculty, especially craving for sense object which provide pleasant feeling, your eye, nose, ear, tongue, so on. Right? Among these three, the Buddha explained the final one is the worst one. According to the Buddha's teaching, let's talk about the nature of desire. The five aggregates of clinging or panchupadana khandha arises because of your desire and ignorance. This desire or lobha has similar meanings such as craving, love, greedy, like, attachment, lust, and so on. The Buddha explained about the lobha in Itiuttaka Pali with a wonderful stanza. Ananta janato lobo lobo chitta pakopano bayamantara tojatang tanjano nava bujjati. Desire brings you danger and it makes your mind confused. It's a kind of fear arises deep in your mind, but unfortunately, no one is aware about it. That's the worst. Right? In our lives, we suffer so much because of our desire, and it makes us cling to more attachment. That's why Buddha said, Natti tanha nadi sama. The desire is similar to a constant flow of water in a river. Mainly, water of a river seems to stop flowing at one point, but it is flowing anyway. When it comes to craving, the same theory implies craving cannot be seen from outside, but it is flowing within yourself in your mind. Also, your eye never satisfies with the images or objects you see every day. And same principle applies to all the other senses which needs more and more satisfactions, which is the nature of the desire. As far as these sense of faculty are concerned, if someone craving to satisfy them more and more, they don't think of any good or bad repercussions, which may ultimately cause harm to entire society. That is to say in the Dhammapada. That's why Buddha said, Tannhaya jayati soko, tannhaya jayati bhayang, tannhaya vipamuttassa natti soko kuto bhayang. From the craving arises sorrow. From the craving arises fear. The one who is free from craving, there is no sorrow and fear. According to the discourse of the foundations of mindfulness, we call Satipatthana Sutra, wherever there is the delightful and pleasurable things, then craving arises and takes root. Eye, ear, nose, tongue, body and mind are delightful and pleasurable, there this craving arises and takes root. When we consider about the material world, with the visual objects, sounds and smell, taste, bodily impression, and mind's objects are delightful and pleasurable, there this craving arises and takes the root. It's very clear. With the desire, we observe objects through the sense, and it will create more karmic energy to be born, and which lead to the circle of existence or the samsara. Right? So in order to overcome desire, what Buddha really taught? In order to overcome desire, what Buddha really taught is that you should train your mind to the concept of generosity. Why we practice generosity? The one day we have to give up everything. To give up your thoughts and materialistic things, you must understand the nature of the all component things. All component things are subjected to impermanency. Therefore, you have to understand the nature of the impermanency, and thereby it will help you to overcome the desire. So it's all about the desire. Now we move to the second one, dvesha. Dvesha means anger, hatred, or the aversion, right? So there are similar words, some. In Buddhist doctrine, explain that the attachment and anger are two sides of a particular object. When you like or love to that object, then desire, lust or greed arise, right? So then if you don't like or clash with that object, you get anger or the aversion. Anger is one of great obstacles in Buddhist practice and in daily life as well. The very heat of anger obscures our mind, and not just our own mind, but those we interact as well. Anger is contagious and dangerous. Feeling of anger arises due to how we interpret and react to a certain situation. Everyone has their own triggers for what makes them angry. If we talk about few reasons which cause the anger, for an example, when someone threatens or attacks us, anger arises because we are being treated unfairly. People can interpret situation differently. So a situation that makes you feel very angry may not make someone else feel angry at all. It's really important to understand that anger is very often, the Buddha might say always, created entirely within yourself. It doesn't come sweeping out from anyone to infect you. We tend to think that anger is caused by something outside ourselves, such as other people or frustrating event. But it's very clear that nobody makes you angry. You make yourself angry. If someone blame at you, and he would never say to you to get angry a certain level. The level you increase or decrease totally depend on you. But honestly, we don't understand this. If someone blames or reject or criticize, insult, accuse an unwise person, they react so quickly, get angry and shout back at the other person. Unwise person's main intention becomes nothing but engulfed with revengeful thoughts. This practice of behavior is demeaning because that is the pattern of behavior an unwise person had been practicing for a prolonged period. Question is which outcomes we gain from that kind of behavior. What kind of satisfactions we intend to anticipate by defeating an other. Hurting someone, injuring someone, killing someone. Are you actually content with this kind of satisfaction you are getting by hurting someone in this manner? This is something seriously pondered by you. If someone throw a garbage or rubbish at somebody, does the person who throw the rubbish get dirty? If someone throw a handful of hot coal at somebody, does the person who throw hot coal get burnt? Similarly, a person who engulfed with revengeful thoughts spend their lives with despair, somehow thoughts which are similar to an old wound, easily get frustrated and angry, always express angry and hatred thoughts, right? So if someone hit or strike at a person who is very wise, what would you think that wise person does? What really Lord Buddha did? When the Devadatta tried to kill him by throwing a rock from on high, when the Chinchamanavika accused Buddha with false allegations, when Magandhya insulted Buddha, the enlightened Lord Buddha realized that his own karma come into effect and manifested compassion on them without any hatred. When you talk about some other more example, his disciples, the most profound Sariputta Thera, who only second to the wisdom of Lord Buddha, manifested compassion towards the people who struck him from behind. This example enough for us to understand how we react with those who around us with much anger. Right? Therefore, if we are getting upset or angry at very minor things in life, it actually says that we are not sensible or wise at all. It is because of my foolishness that I am getting angry. It is because of my foolishness that I see and deliberately find mistake of others. If I am wise and intelligent person, I am not getting disturbed. Even the entire world try to make me upset. Some are getting annoyed of injustice. They fight back to defend injustice. Actually speaking, the entire circle of rebirth or samsara is not reasonable at all. What we must try to our best to do is to end this circle of rebirth or samsara, but not to fight back against injustice. What we should fight back is to end this circle of rebirth only. Right? Hatred is a sudden impulse of unwholesome thought which corrupts your inner peace. It's very hard to control a speeding vehicle, and trying to control it could be dangerous too. Similarly, same principle applies to a person who easily gets angry. According to the Aditta Pariyaya Sutra, this condition is a massive fire Fire destroys valuable as well as rubbish. It takes a few moments for hatred to convert a good person to a very cruel person. Isn't it? Right? You have seen so many examples in the society, right? This has to be understood wisely. Right? So then I hope you get a rough idea about the nature of the desire. Now, when we discuss consequences of anger in Kodana Sutra, which is mentioned in Kodana Sutra, is very important. According to this sutra, angry person loses 7 attributes in life. The first one, deteriorations of appearance. Simply term, if you get angry, then no wonder you will get ugly, right? You will get all, right? Quickly. The second one, sleep deprivations. Simply, the person who get angry can't sleep well, right? Then the third one, becoming poor, losing your money, right? The fourth, becoming less in material possession, losing your materialistic things. The fifth, deteriorations of personality, or tarnish your good image, right? Then the sixth, not making any friends. Even your good friends, they leave because if you get angry, right? Friends leave the person who always get angry, right? It's a true, right? The final one, finally going to the hell after your death, because of your angry thoughts in dying moment, that he may go into the lower layer. Now I hope you have a clear understanding of the consequences of getting angry, the way it harms you. So therefore, now we discuss how we overcome this anger. There are 5 attributes we can always practice day-to-day life according to the Agata Pativinaya Sutra in the Anguttara Nikaya. There are 5 attributes in our lives we can always practice to eliminate anger. The first one, pay more compassion towards the others, even those who get angry with you, right? And also be kind towards to the others, right? The third one, develop equanimity within yourself. The fourth, it's very important, try to stop recalling angry objects, right? And also finally, you have to believe in karma. Someone blame you, someone hit you, someone hurt you, someone disturb you because of you have a relation, you have done something in your previous birth. Now this is the result. Why you go and make more karma with him for the next birth? So you have to think the consequences of karma, cause and effect, and away from all the situation which make you angry, right? Then Lord Buddha advised everyone to eliminate anger by developing mind, and any bad karma can be eliminated by following particular pathways, right? Following Buddhist disciplinary measures, paying attention to this Buddhist teaching is a quality of a wise person, right? So then I think you get an idea about the dvesha or the anger. Now we move to the final fact, the third one, moha. Moha can be explained as an aspect of Dhamma which could not be grasped by mind at the first occurrence, a reality of a particular base which could not be clearly identified owing to ignorance or delusion. right? These delusional thoughts emerge not from somewhere else but within your mind. Therefore, it is an illness in the mind. It can be further elaborated as a tissue which covers your eye or completely cover your sight. Because of this delusional character of a moha, we firmly believe that the 5 aggregates of clinging, which also can be explained as a Panchupadana Skandha, is a prosperous aspect in life. The particular path for cessation of suffering is seen as a negative aspect because of this moha. People are not following the correct path of Buddhism. Existence of moha usually depicts or represent in the face of wisdom, and therefore most think that they are intelligent depend on accelerations of moha within themselves, right? So this is the issue with moha, right? So how to eliminate this moha or delusion or the ignorance, and to understand the reality, right? Understand your eye is not permanent, and to ascertain with your wisdom that whatever you see from your eyes, whether pleasant or unpleasant, is subjected to impermanence. And understand the impermanence of all visual things you see in your eyes. All visible objects you see are conditioned through eye. Eye conscious arises and it's subject to impermanence. And also, understanding the impermanence of eye, understand the impermanence of objects, conditioned thoughts, your eye, and understand the impermanence of eye consciousness occurring. So, this is the way you must see the things, right? But we cannot see the things in this way because of our ignorance, right? Right? If you feel an ecstatic or joyful thoughts, sorrowful thoughts, or tranquil feeling because of visual objects getting contact with your eye, and to understand with your wisdom that all these thoughts are impermanent because of this moha or delusion rooted within ourselves, we cannot see this actual reality. As a result of this moha or delusion, people think that 5 aggregates of attachments are prospering aspects, and therefore it's a hindrance to understand Four Noble Truths in Buddhism. Because of this delusion, people are too proud of themselves rather than becoming humble. This is what happened, right? So in order to eliminate or reduce the power of moha or the delusion, you must listen carefully to the Dhamma talks and get advice from and talk to a Buddhist monks who preach Lord Buddha's teachings. And learning of Buddhist teachings also help to a greater extent, right? So I think you get a rough idea about the moha. And finally, I would like to mention that mind and body are separate. It's also scientifically proved. To function your body in a healthy way, you must maintain your body in an effective manner. In order to facilitate this function, there are 2 main aspects in Buddhism, which are Ahara Sappaya and Viharana Sappaya. Ahara Sappaya means feed your body with healthy foods. right? There is a well-known statement which states, eat your food as a medicine, otherwise you have to eat medicine as your food, right? Therefore, you have to feed your body with healthy foods, right? If you can recall this statement when you see the foods, then better. But unfortunately, we forget everything when we see the foods, right? Okay. And then, viharana sappaya means correct lifestyles. Sleep on time, eat on time, go to a gym, right? So, if you practice these two aspects, then you can keep your physical body in healthy manner, right? So, the second one, the mind, right? So, to keep your mind healthy manner, you must keep your mind calm and quiet. To maintain your mind in a peaceful manner, you must eliminate lobha, desire, dvesha, anger, and moha delusion. This is the way that you can only keep your mind peacefully, right? Buddha said in the Khuddaka Nikaya, my disciples, there are corrosions, enemies, and the bad friends are three executioners within yourself, and they are lobha, desire, dvesha, anger, and moha delusion, right? So we will now try to understand these three aspects of desire and anger and delusion with an example, right? Okay, desire is like a disoriented person running after everything he or she sees, right? Anger is like a demon, always try to revenge and finally get despaired. So, in order to emerge the nature of the Buddha out of your devil who is hidden inside you, you must even have a great deal of patience to endure even if someone slightly scratch you angrily, right? Also, delusion is similar to a fool as well. Because of our delusion, we do endless silly things every day. In order to keep our mind calm, it is imperative that we must practice specific Buddhist teachings to overcome desire, anger, and delusion. The particular method to overcome these three executioners inside you is to practice yoniso manasikara, which means observing phenomena as they truly are and noticing that they are impermanent or unsatisfactory. In simple terms, we can say wise reflection or the attention. Moreover, correct guidance from a Buddhist monks, listening to the Buddhist teachings and practice Buddhist teachings are very important as well. Therefore, as clearly illustrates in Loka Sutra, we must try to overcome these three executioners of desire, anger, and delusion deeply rooted inside of our mind. Therefore, if you try to eliminate these three unwholesome thoughts from your mind, no wonder you will be able to live happily and peacefully. Finally, it helps to free from all the suffering and which leads to the path of nirvana. Therefore, my Dhamma friends, I sincerely believe you understand the sutra and try to eliminate and try to reduce the power of these three unwholesome thoughts that may help for you to have a happy life. So, thank you so much for listening. May the Noble Triple Gem bless you all.